Well, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, wherever you are in the world. My name is Ahmed, and I'll be your host for today. And today we have a very, very interesting topic, and it's about the art of healing. Now, a lot of you question that is this going to be a medical topic, or is it going to be basically something related to medicine? Well, one, I'm not a doctor. And two, it's the experiences that I have gone through, plus the information that I have gathered, probably from the wisest people around the world that had led me on this journey of what I'm about to share with you. I want to thank each and every single one of you to be here, and I want to give a special thanks to Brother Jerome for preparing and organizing this masterclass. I truly appreciate you, brother. So let me just share my screen so we can start our session. And as always, the greatest thanks that I ever want to give before I start to anything is I want to thank God. So in his name and through his blessings, let us start. Just a moment. I think I need to. I can't seem to. Anyways, let's continue like this. I think it's better. I could see the screen better. So we're going to discuss about the art of healing. A lot of you are asking, okay, healing, but from what angle are we looking at? What is healing? And I don't mean a specific thing related to the body, just the body, but the body is the manifestation of whatever is that is, of something else. Whatever dis-ease is out there is a result of a certain cause. First question is, what is healing? Healing occurs through the integrating forces that restore, transform, sustain, and nurture the whole person, which means it's a whole mechanism looking at everything in a holistic way. Spirit, mind, and body. Now, when I found this, it was mentioned body, mind, and spirit. I know, and I can share with you out of my experience, everything moves from spirit to form. We always have to work from a higher to a lower potential, not the other way around. If you look at a power plant in any given city, before it reaches to your house, they usually have these substations that act as a transformer to bring about the correct voltage that it can be usable. The same thing with a human being. At each phase and in every dimension of life, and within relationship of the person to God, to other people, and to creation. How are you viewing yourself today? I don't know your health condition. I don't know what you're suffering from. But if you do understand the principles that I'm about to share with you, you're at a starting point to something greater that can reveal a new you to yourself. And this is a journey. You cannot learn everything that I'm about to share during this session. It took me 13 years of dedicated study and application to reap the rewards which I have sown in my life. What is the one thing that is a prerequisite to healing or to anything else in your life? And the answer is you must want it. You must desire it. And you must want it bad enough. That is the prerequisite. If you don't desire it, you don't have enough input. You must want real life, not mere pleasure or of sensual gratification. Life is the performance of function, and the individual really lives only when he performs every function, physical, mental, and spiritual, of which he is capable without excess in any. You cannot give your entire attention just for the physical. The same thing, you cannot give your entire attention just for the mental. You cannot give your entire attention just for the spiritual. You must find a balance and harmony between all areas of your life. So here we have two clouds. Now, people usually ask themselves, okay, I want to get better. I want to feel better. Well, you only need to know two things to improve the results in your life. I don't know whether it's trauma, whether you're having anxiety, whether you're having digestive issues. I have no idea what it is. You need to know where you are. Now, remember, as I stated earlier, what you have in your life today is nothing but an effect. The cause is somewhere else. The cause is embedded, very deeply rooted in the psyche. You need to know where you are. And I don't mean physically. You know where you are physically, right? You're in front of your phone, sitting somewhere. Probably you're in your home. What I mean is where you are psychologically. And you also need to know where you're going. It is very important. According to Dr. Max Gerson, and he basically is a if you can please mute your mics. He basically used to treat people who had cancer in a very holistic way. And he said people get ill due to two things. One is toxicity, and the other is deficiency. Now think about that. Your body is like a storage compartment. You can give it things that can nourish, have it make it nourished, or you can basically feed yourself junk, and you're gonna become toxic because it accumulates. Now, if you have a refrigerator, you know, your body is likened to a refrigerator, as a dear friend of mine who wrote a book, Home Cooking to Cure Cancer, Dr. Jolie Harris. He said that just the same way that you look after to make sure that your refrigerator remains clean, and you perform, like, you know, periodic cleaning within the refrigerator, your body operates the same way. It accumulates all these toxins. So you need to detoxify. And on the other hand, you have to also replenish the cells, feed the body in such a way that it can get nourished, that the cells can function, can harmonize, all the electrical signals through the sufficient amount of minerals in the body are functioning correctly. So we need to target these things. We need to detoxify, and then we need to nourish. But I like to take this to expand it a little bit more from a different level of awareness. We have to ask ourselves certain questions. Hold on. So someone is not muted.
Yes, please, can you mute him?
Yeah, I'm trying to. I think they're muted now, I believe. Again, it's not. Brother Jerome, hold on. Okay. Sagbo, if you can please mute yourself.
I can't do it by my own, right? So
Yeah,
that's your.
it seems.
Yeah, you can, please.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
It's
Okay. So we have to ask ourselves certain questions. Number one, are we in a toxic and deficient relationship toward God? Now, this could be a very sensitive topic for many. And a lot of people in today's day and age, they shy away from even talking about God. But for me, I find that this is a foundation. This is the source of all your sustenance, all the things you desire to have. And God is not someone that we should go to during hard times or during times of need and trouble. Why are we not embracing God in every area in our life? Recently, we're eight co-authors from the Napoleon Hill Institute, and we compiled a wonderful book. It's called Getting Unhacked. You can learn a lot about the mind and the spiritual natures and success habits from this book. And if it is truly transformational. Second, are we in a toxic and deficient relationship toward our mind? Now, the same thing with God, we need to establish faith. Hold on. There's again, someone is in the background. Okay. I'm sorry, but I had to remove the person. So are we in a toxic and deficient relationship toward our mind? The question comes here. If you hang around people who are negative, or let's say you entertain yourself with a lot of negative news, negative habits by gossip and other things, what are you putting in your mind? A lot of people end up depressed because they keep entertaining negative ideas in their mind all the time. Number three, are we in a toxic and deficient relationship toward our body? Similarly to the mind, if you eat a lot of garbage, you can't be healthy. So when it comes to toxicity and deficiency, I like to focus spiritually. You target the spiritual dimension first. You fix your relationship there. you fix your relationship that you have with God. Second is the mental dimension. You fix your relationship within you. And it has to do with your self-image. So your self-image is how you see yourself. And with your self-confidence. Your self-confidence is how you carry yourself. And your self-esteem is how you feel about yourself. And then we target the physical dimension. Make sure you get enough sleep. Make sure you eat only natural food. There's a lot of toxins in today's products out there. There's plenty. If you don't research what you're eating, then you don't know what you're eating. I'm a person that I like to look after my health. There's a very famous healer. His name, he was from Honduras. Unfortunately, he passed away. I think we're having another. Okay. So this famous healer goes by Dr. Sebi. And he stated that your body cannot heal until the colon has been cleansed. Now, if I want to take that to the spiritual and mental dimension, it means you got to take the garbage out. If you're in certain activities in your life that is distancing you from God, stop it. Align yourself again. Follow the scripture. I don't know what religion you're following, but whatever it is, your religion is your school of discipline. Same thing when it comes to the mind. Only entertain healthy thoughts at all times. Then as well with the body. The garbage does not come out unless you replace the things to take place of the old, whether it's spiritual, mental, or physical. Napoleon Hill stated, every adversity, every failure, every heartache carries with it the seed of an equal or greater benefit. Just because you can't see it right now does not mean that it doesn't exist. As Price Pritchard stated, he said, absence of evidence is not evidence of absence. Let me repeat that again. Absence of evidence is not evidence of absence. Now, when Napoleon Hill made this statement, he didn't say that the opposite is there, equal or greater benefit, but he said the seed of an equal or greater benefit is there, which means the starting point of something greater will come. Something equal or greater than whatever had happened will come. But we need to be a bit patient. If you plant a seed into the fertile ground, which is earth, you can't expect the fruit right away. Now, can we? And if you don't take care of the seed and water it, give it fertilizers, make sure it has enough sunlight, it will not bear fruit either. So as much as there is the element of patience, we need to also address the element of care. Always seek to harmonize yourself with the good that you desire. Now, how do we mean by that? It starts with decision. You cannot harmonize yourself with anything until you decide that you want this particular result in your life, whether it's health, relationships, wealth, you name it. Decide what kind of life you actually want. Then say no to everything that's not in harmony with that life. I want you to have a very close look at this diagram. It's a funny, awkward-looking diagram, I understand. But all of your life, since the day you were born, you as an observer are like that little dot that's in the center. You have the past, you have the future, you have unpleasant, you have pleasant. You have extrinsic motivation, intrinsic motivation. You are always in the center of everything that happens to you. But you know what's funny? You're also in the middle of any polarity that there is. You're always in between the polarity of different things that are part of the same thing. It's like when you talk about hot and cold, it's about heat. When there is light, there is dark, there is up, there is down, there is in, there is out, left and right. You're always in the center. Whenever you close your eyes and you open, you're again in the center of wherever you are in your environment. And you always have a choice. There is a polarity, but then there is something else. There is a rhythm. Change your rhythm to change the desired outcome in your life. Now, what is a rhythm? It's similar to how when you're playing a music, sometimes it makes you feel good. Why? Because it's a harmonic rhythm, right? It brings you peace. Some musics are, the rhythm is a bit off, so you're not gonna feel that good when you listen to it.
Des gorgées d'eau, des selfies, des photos de famille.
Okay.
Et l'ambiance détendue entre Congolais et Angolais.
Okay. Sorry about that again. I guess we want to make sure everybody mutes themselves. So, rhythm. What is rhythm? Everything flows out and in. Everything has its tides. All things rise and fall. The pendulum swing. Hold on. Here we go again. Okay. I just have to keep muting people. All tides rise and fall. The pendulum swing manifests in everything. The measure of the swing to the right is the measure of the swing to the left. Rhythm compensates. But the question is, which direction of the polarity are we seeing life from? Law of rhythm. This law describes to us that everything vibrates and moves to a rhythm. Each rhythm establishes seasons, cycles, stages of development, and patterns. If you look at the ocean, you have high tide and low tide. Whenever you do an activity continuously, it becomes a rhythm called habit. Then it is permanent. You are continuously doing things unconsciously, and you don't even think about them. If you don't use your mind, you become a part of the rhythm in the environment. Have you ever questioned, why do you have a habit of eating certain foods over and over again, even though you know it's harmful for you? Why do you keep feeling pessimistic instead of being optimistic? Again, it's part of the rhythm that you're on. Why you're having fear and anxiety? Again, that's part of the rhythm that you're on. It's an unconscious programming that is deeply rooted within your subconscious mind. Bob Proctor stated that we are creatures of habit and that we are also target-seeking organisms. We're all creatures of habit. If you don't like something in your life and you want to eliminate it, eliminate the cause, change the cause. Having a pill to fix something is like putting a band-aid over the symptom and not treating the cause. Everything in your life is made up of the same thing. Everything is made up of energy. And people say, oh, how come everything is made up of energy? Well, according to science, if you look at everything, once you go to the smallest element, what is it? It's an atom. You have the protons, neutrons, and electrons. This whole world is made up of the same thing. Most people are operating from their sensory factors, which we call them the five senses. Now, what are they? Everyone learned this in school. Well, first we can hear, right? This is how we communicate with our outside world. We can hear. Hold on. Just need to mute a couple of more. So we can hear, we can see, we can smell, we can taste, and we can touch. And ever since we were born, another person to mute. So ever since we were born, this is what we have been taught to focus on. We have been trained to only focus on life from whatever's happening outside of us. And we have not really tapped in to who we truly are as human beings. So can he hear, see, smell, taste, and touch. However, God has gifted mankind with 6 higher faculties that we can access with the use of our intellect. We have imagination, we have perception, we have memory, reason, will, and intuition. Now, a lot of you probably have heard a couple of these things, but again, what does it mean, the higher faculties? And what are these 6 things that we have never been taught? Well, here is an illustration. There's this girl, and she's basically using her power of imagination. Imagination is your ability to dream. This is your workshop. This is where you have your canvas, which is what we like to call the screen of your mind, and you can create anything on the screen of your mind. You see, us as human beings, we see things in pictures. If I would tell you, do you remember a certain food that you had? I want you to think of, a nice piece of dessert that you like. Let's say a chocolate cake, for an example. How do you understand what it is? You see it as an image in your mind. This is where your understanding comes, because you have a cellular memory of recognition that has been developed as you were growing up. The second is perception. Remember when I said you're at the center of everything that happens? You always have a choice from which lens of scope that you are viewing life from. It's the lens from which you view the world. Memory. And I'm not just talking about the brain. Memory encompasses your entire being. It's your ability to remember. There is no such thing as bad memory. But we need to make more use out of it. We don't exercise it enough. It's a muscle. It's a mental muscle. Similar to your body when you go and work out and exercise. Memory can be improved if you work at it as well. Reason is your ability to think, to question things, to understand how does it feel? Does it feel right? Does it not? And then we have will. There are a lot of people think, oh, will is something I gotta have willpower. In everybody's mind, you need to be strong, you need to break through everything. It's not about that. It's about focus. Will is about holding your mind to a single idea or an image in exclusion of everything else with no distractions. When you really have the ability to strengthen your focus, intuition is God speaking to you. You know, it's secondary to prayer at times. You know, what is prayer? Prayer is when we speak to God, and intuition is when God speaks to us. It's that little hunch, those little impulses that you get in your heart that tells you, do this now, go here, call this person. You don't know why, but it's just a gut feeling that is so strong that it pulls you in this direction. It doesn't have to make sense at times, but if you learn to trust your intuition, you, even if it doesn't make any sense, you won't be able to connect the dots why you're getting this feeling. But after a time, when things have emerged and developed, when you look back, then you'll get to understand. As Steve Jobs said, he said, you can't connect the dots looking forward, but you can connect them looking backwards. Well, in regards when we talked about rhythm, I like, and rhythm is basically makes up your habit. Here we are with a beautiful word that Bob had shared with me and a lot of others, but for me, especially like 13 years ago, when the first time I heard about something called paradigm. And I was like, what is paradigm? He talks about it a lot. And he said a paradigm is a mental program, which is a subconscious conditioning that is almost exclusive control over our habitual behavior. And almost all of our behavior is habitual. Think about it. You wake up in the morning, you want to get dressed, you want to wear your shirt. How many of you are putting in the right hand first before the left in that shirt? You don't change this habit. You've been doing it probably for years. Same thing the way you eat your food. Same thing the way you drive. Same thing the way you behave and talk to people. Same thing when it comes to your health. You're following your family's eating habits, thinking patterns, and behaviors. Paradigm is a multitude of habits, and they're other people's habits passed on from one generation to the next. They're not necessarily yours. But I want to tell you one thing. The great news is paradigms can be changed. And as far as we know, there are two ways to change it. One is quite probably painful when at times, but it's called an emotional impact. Something happens so big in your life that you just change overnight. And the other form, which is, it takes a bit of time, but it is, you know, part of a least resistance when it comes to that change, is repetition of affirmations. by putting in the right kind of information through you day in and day out. What does that have to do with healing? Everything. If you can change the way you think, then you can change the way you feel, and you can change your results. The act of looking for something will cause the thing you seek to come toward you. As I said earlier, we're creatures of habit, and we are target-seeking organisms. Anything you seek, whatever you're seeking is seeking you. Because the act of exploration and the act of expectation will cause you to see the thing that you're looking for. Now, understand this. It doesn't matter if it's good or bad. You will find it. Why would I want to give energy to something bad and look for that? Eventually, I will end up finding it. Napoleon Hill stated, he said, your thoughts have the ability to project themselves into their physical equivalent. Andrew Carnegie stated, he said, any idea that is held in the mind, that's emphasized, that's either feared or revered, which means bad or good, will begin at once to clothe itself in the most convenient physical form that's available. Why manifest something that I don't want for it to happen? It's all about the lens of scope. Again, we go back to perception. If I view life in a certain way, I will sure end up experiencing that life in that certain way. As Dr. Wayne Dyer said, he said, when we change the way we look at things, the thing we look at will change. And guess what? You can only attract things to you that are vibrating in harmony with you. So if I'm harmonizing my thoughts with negative things in my life, I will attract it. I think there was a general, he said, loathe what I have feared the most have come to visit upon me. Prophet Muhammad stated, he said, be inspired to expect the good to come into your life, and you shall find it. In Arabic, which goes as تفاءلوا بالخير تجدوه. So we have the creative process. We're spiritual beings, we have an intellect, but we live in a physical body. See, we are souls, but we temporarily are here in a physical body, and we're living a physical life temporarily. So from our intuition, God sends us certain thoughts. And when we gather these thoughts intellectually, we start to form things called an idea. Now, if we entertain this idea long enough, it will cause us to move in the direction to fulfill that idea, that we may obtain something called results or get things with it. This is how we operate. We move from thoughts to theory, then we act upon the theory before we turn it into a fact. This is how everything has been created. This is how people had improved their health. This is how people have gained through the process of coming up with new inventions. Ideas equals results if acted upon. You know, Prophet Solomon or King Solomon, he said, in all thy getting, get understanding. We have ignorance, yet we have knowledge. Again, you are in the center of choosing and making the decision of which direction you're going to go. How are you going to look at your life today? If we don't understand something when it comes to our health, we remain in ignorance, and which causes us worry and doubt. I'm going to go to this doctor, and if this doctor doesn't cure me, I'm going to go to the next doctor. And when you realize that this is an effect of a cause that's in your mind, you will start to have a certain understanding. See, knowledge, it says study for understanding. And if you don't study, you're going to end up in worry and doubt. And if you don't shift yourself to study who you are and what you're capable and what your mind is comprised of, you're going to end up in fear. Now, fear cannot be expressed. Fear can only be suppressed. So that suppression will lead to anxiety. And from anxiety, suppressed even further, to depression. And depression is a person who has severe anxiety, basically. What happens then? It causes the body to break down. The level of acidity that your body will accumulate is unfathomable. It will cause you to have dis-ease, which means the body is not at ease. And with that, the body will start to go into the phase of disintegration. Things will start to shut down. Well, we need to study more about us. We need to know how to be in alignment spiritually, mentally, and physically. So once we study for understanding, over time, you will start to cultivate faith. And with faith comes well-being. Well-being can only be expressed, which causes an acceleration in healing. And if you are maintaining that, you maintain a consecutive level of positive thinking, positive habits throughout, to maintain a positive level of feeling, the body will be at ease. Your cells will regenerate, your immune system will function in its optimum. You won't have any psychological issues because you've gained an understanding. Now, let me introduce you to our favorite stick person. See, there's the big circle is basically the mind. Now, Bob said that he was introduced to this by Leland van der Waal at an event. He got a chance to speak with him. And this diagram was first created by Dr. Thurman Fleet, who basically said that the only problem that people, why they don't understand the mind, is because they don't have an image to work with. So he made up this diagram. Now, a lot of people, when you talk about the mind, they try to picture the image of the brain, but the brain is nothing but an electronic switching station. It's a broadcasting and receiving station as well. But it's not the mind. Now, what is the mind? The mind is movement. And the body is the manifestation of that movement. Bob said, mind is as much as in your hair, as much as it is in your fingernail. It encompasses your entire physical body, your state of being, but it's not physical in its essence. It's something mental that is linked between the spiritual and your physical. Now, what we constitute as what the general masses constitute of thinking, that's not thinking. That's just mental activity. Now you can see there are 5 antennas on the top. Hear, see, smell, taste, and touch. You have a conscious mind, and then the bottom half is the subconscious mind. So any idea that is held in the mind consciously, once emotionalized, will go into the subconscious. The emotions will alter the vibration of the body, which means you're tuning yourself to a different frequency that can have a harmonic resonance or a vibrational match with whatever it is you're thinking, entertaining, and getting emotional with. And it allows you to move into that direction and therefore get the results that you have. Let me take it a little bit further. So the conscious mind is the thinking mind. And I want you to liken that to the masculine part of the mind. Or I like to liken that to, this is where you can create a seed of anything in your mind. It's a spiritual seed, but it is made of the exact same stuff as any other seed. Like if I would plant an orange seed, I cannot expect an apple, now can I? My result will be an orange. And if I plant an acorn, I'll get an oak tree. If I plant a nightshade seed, I'll get poison. It's the same thing, but it acts in 2 things. Now, when the thinking mind is the masculine, this is where you create. This is where you can imagine and really build. If you can see yourself healthy and you get emotional with that, you'll eventually are going to be targeting to seek healthy alternatives to whatever you have. You're realigning yourself as you go. It's an auto-correcting mechanism. But it depends on what you're doing. Whatever you're thinking and you're feeling, the body is going to behave. But at the same time, the vibration that you're in is also going to set up an attraction that you will start attracting conditions and circumstances that are matching in whatever it is that you're harmonizing yourself with. This is what we like to call a vibrational match. Now, thinking without taking action is called wishful thinking. And taking action without thinking is a struggle. See, most people, they say, I want to feel better. But emotionally, they're not really buying into it. And physically, they're basically having bad habits health-wise. Is anything going to change for this person? Absolutely not. The problem is, all of you know how to do better at anything that you're doing now. But the issue is, you have a knowing and doing gap. You're not doing it. The reason is you're not emotionally involved enough, or it's not backed up by enough strength of reason on why you want it. As I said, the prerequisite is you have to want it. And you have to want it bad enough. There is the thinking mind, which we like to call agency. This is where you make your decision. And this is your conscious mind. It's the masculine side of you. In the conscious mind, if you don't like a certain idea, you can reject it. And if you like it, you can accept it. Now, with the use of the intellect, you can access the 6 higher faculties that we mentioned, which is imagination, perception, memory, reason, will, and intuition. That's part of your agency. But your subconscious is directly linked to the body. Your body is emotional in nature. So if I'm thinking of something and then I get emotionally involved in whatever it is that I'm entertaining, it makes up my mindset. Now, what is my mindset? Your mindset comprises of two things: your beliefs and habits, as stated on the left. It's your self-image. How are you viewing yourself in relation to everything? Now, understand this. Your subconscious mind cannot reject anything. Anything you're getting emotionally involved with, it accepts it. It only knows what it sees. Time means nothing to it. It does not understand time. And another thing, your subconscious cannot know the difference between what are you seeing with these eyes or what is being imagined. It takes everything as truth because your understanding, as I said, if you're reading something, you flash on the image of your mind. So if you close these eyes and you imagine with your foresight, it also gets to see. And it accepts everything as truth. Question is, what are you entertaining most of the time? If you're worried about a certain thing or a health condition, you will manifest it. We need to have a better understanding of how our mind functions. The problem is not that if I'm teaching this that you don't understand it. The problem is, are you aware of the potential power that is within you? That's the question. If you truly understand what I'm saying, you would really take this lesson very seriously. As I said, you're in the center of everything. Neutrality is where we ascend when we come to an understanding, right? On one hand, we have suffering, hate, dark, bad. And on the other hand, we have joy, we have love, we have light, we have good. We need to harmonize polarity with the good that we desire. You see, God is all about abundance. God is all about health. God is all about love, light, and good. Well, guess what? It stems from two things, right? If you want joy, love, light, and good, it is your responsibility. That's the truth. You have to be disciplined enough to make the change happen. No one can do it for you. I can explain all day and night to you, but it's not going to make a darn difference in your life if you don't take responsibility. As Bob always said, he said, I wish I could put it in a can and give it to everyone to change their life, but it's not going to happen. Your rewards and your suffering is in your hands. And suffering, hate, dark, and bad, it stems from ignorance. Again, we stated that we want to shift from ignorance to knowledge. This is something that I really took to heart. Now, if many of you might not know who Andrew Carnegie is, but if you did study Napoleon Hill and his book Think and Grow Rich and his success philosophies, Andrew Carnegie said, everyone, said Mr. Carnegie, comes to the earth plane blessed with the privilege of controlling his mind power and directing it to whatever ends he may choose. So this is, again, with the privilege of controlling his mind power and directing it to whatever ends he may choose. But it's your responsibility to do so. Try to understand this part. If I don't take responsibility for my own thinking, let me continue what he had to share. But he continued, everyone brings over with him at birth the equivalent of 2 sealed envelopes, one of which is clearly labeled, the riches you may enjoy if you take possession of your own mind and direct it to ends of your own choice. But here he said, if you take possession of your own mind, it's a very important statement right here. And the other is labeled the penalties you must pay if you neglect to take possession of your own mind and direct it. So you have one is a list of blessings, and the other is a list of penalties. And now let me reveal to you, said Mr. Carnegie, the contents of those 2 sealed envelopes. In the one labeled riches is this list of blessings. Number 1, sound health. Number 2, peace of mind. Number 3, a labor of love of your own choice. Number 4, freedom from fear and worry. Number 5, a positive mental attitude. Number 6, material riches of your own choice and quantity. And it's not necessarily money, but things, right? Les Brown said, he said, you don't attract in life what you want. You only attract in life what you are. So in other words, it's your state of being that you're in that has to be harmonized first. Then you act upon it so that the receiving can take place. Now, here are the list of blessings. Sound health, peace of mind, a labor of love of your own choice, freedom from fear and worry, a positive mental attitude, material riches of your own choice and quantity. Now, isn't that amazing? But it's only if you take possession of your own mind and direct it to whatever ends you may desire. Don't let your mind loose. As Earl Nightingale said, imagine your mind as a giant ship. If you don't take possession of it, it's like there is no captain on that ship. So your mind will wander around if it ever makes to the harbor at all. It will take years before you gather that awareness back and step on the brakes and try to hold the steering wheel of your life again. In the sealed envelope, labeled penalties, Mr. Carnegie continued, is this list of prices one must pay for neglecting to take possession of his own mind. Number 1, ill health. It's right there. Why? Because you didn't allow yourself to take possession. So you're going to accept whatever you're going to hear from people. And if something scares you, guess what? You're going to end up being sick. Fear and worry. That's another one. Indecision and doubt. 4, frustration and discouragement throughout life. 5, poverty and want. 6, and a whole flock of evils consisting of envy, greed, jealousy, anger, hatred, and superstition. Now, you have this immense capacity with your imagination. As Bob always said, your imagination is so powerful that it can make a laser look puny. It's one of the most potent energy forms out there, is the ability to think, your thoughts. Einstein stated, he said, imagination is a preview to your life's coming attractions. And the statement goes, have you ever gone to the cinema where they showed you a preview that the movie never came out? Napoleon Hill stated, he said, your imagination is the most marvelous, miraculous, inconceivable, powerful force the world has ever known. And he also stated that whatever the mind can conceive and believe, the mind can achieve. Whether it's good or bad, if you're conceiving that idea and you believe it, surely it will come to pass. There was a very famous book, 1903, by a famous author. I love this author. His name is James Allen. And her book is called As a Man Thinketh. I highly suggest you read it. He wrote a poem. He said, mind is the master power that molds and makes. Now, your mind, whenever you're thinking of a thought, you're creating this mold of where universal substance can come and fill in its space to create the things that you see around, or the shapes of the material. And man is mind, and evermore he takes the tool of thought, and shaping what he wills, brings forth 1,000 joys, 1,000 ills. See again. And evermore he takes the tool of thought. Again, it's in your thoughts, and shaping what he wills, anything you imagine, right? It's in your workshop. It's in your conscious mind. You're creating all these images. What does it bring? It depends on whatever it is you're holding in your mind. It brings forth 1,000 joys or 1,000 ills. He thinks in secret. You're looking people walking around, but can you tell what they're thinking? Can you really see what's in their mind? He thinks in secret, and it comes to pass. Environment is but his looking glass. So your environment is the things that you're going to see through your eyes. You don't see with these eyes. You're seeing it internally, but you're seeing it through your eyes. And you're thinking in secret. Like sometimes you're having a deep feeling that you want to connect to this person who you didn't speak with for quite a long time. And guess what? He might ring you. Or you're thinking of something that may come across on a billboard. Uh, if you're worried about something, you might see it happen in front of you. God knows what it is. But your environment is but your looking glass. You will end up seeing it because you've been thinking about it, you've been emotionally involved with it, and you're expecting it. And you're worried about it. That's what you've harmonized yourself with. Whatever you're seeking is seeking you. Now, the thing is that if you don't have a belief, now, whatever the mind can conceive and believe, the mind can achieve. That's what Napoleon Hill stated. Neville Goddard said it, elaborated it in a different way. He said, when your belief matches with any state, you fuse with it. Now, there is something I'm thinking about, and I believe it. So I've made it part of my being. I've got so emotionally involved with this idea that it became part of my being. I believe that this is right, or I believe that this will happen, or I take this as truth. It says this union results in the activation and projection. Now remember, Napoleon Hill said, he said, your thoughts have the ability to project themselves into their physical equivalent. Now we have a law. There's another law called the law of cause and effect. The cause is in the mind. The effect shows in your environment and in your behavior, or in the manifested outcome of the condition that you're in. This union results in the activation and projection of the plots, plans, conditions, and circumstances. There you have it. Now you've magnetized yourself to this outcome because you have whatever it is that you entertained, whether good or bad, it makes no difference. Your subconscious does not know the difference between whatever is bad for you or whatever is good for you. You need to hold the steering and make sure you remain on the polar side of whatever it is that keeps you more in alignment with the good that you desire. Instead of bad, think what its opposite. Entertain that. These negative thoughts are like weeds that have been growing into your very own Garden of Eden. Don't think about plucking them out. Just think of its opposite that has all the blessings, and you won't pay attention. Anything you pay your attention to grows. That's what you're giving energy to. So shift your perception and lens of scope and start looking at life differently to build a new state of conscious awareness. And as he said here, he said, this new state of conscious awareness becomes your home from which you view the world. Now you're starting to look at life from a different perspective and a new understanding. And if you're observant, you are going to see the outer reality shaping itself upon the model of your imagination. And that was from his book, Power of Awareness by Neville Goddard. And last but not least, Napoleon Hill stated, he said, you are a minute expression of the divine that has been individualized. We're spiritual beings, and we all come from the same source. Ladies and gentlemen, there is no difference between me and each and every single one of you that is on this call. And Ra'un Nefer Emin stated, he said, because God is omnipotent, people believe that God has no needs. God made man to serve as the vehicle of its consciousness and will in the world. You know, as Bob always taught us, he said, we are meant to do two things. Number one, to make the most of ourselves. And number two, to serve others. The things that I have been throughout my life caused me to gather enough information which I have applied in my life. And as a result, it has enabled me to serve you here today. Now, I don't know what is it that you're seeking, but I just want to take everybody through a little practice. If it is well-being that you seek, right? I want you to grab your pen and I want you to write down what is the intention that you wish to see. But if you're writing it, write it in a form of gratitude that you have been blessed with whatever it is that you're seeking. Make it in present tense. You can start with, write your intention, combine your intention with your goal. I am so happy and grateful now that all of my cells are vibrating harmoniously in attunement with God and His mercy and His creation, whatever is bountiful to you, however it may sound to you. Now, I just want to tell you something. Your state of being starts with a state of mind that you're in. If you correct your thinking, the body readjusts itself to tune in alignment with whatever it is you desire. If you want something, you need to feel the effect. As Neville Goddard said, use the law of assumption from the desire fulfilled. So if you want to be healthy, try to imagine, see yourself healthy right now. Remember, your subconscious does not understand the concept of time. We're collapsing time and space to enter into that state of being, and ask yourself this question. Now that my desire has been fulfilled, how do I feel? If you want to be healthy, see, how does healthy feel to you? and try to tap into the emotional side of it, that it may produce certain outcomes in your life where you can have certain activation and projection of plots and plans and conditions and circumstances that can come toward you. You'll start to attract whatever it is you require in order to fulfill that health in your life. But again, it is your responsibility and it is your decision. It's not all about the physical. I've tried to cover certain topics between spiritual, mental, and physical as much as possible. But it is one exercise that may be able to enhance the experience for you. So I want you to write your goal, whatever it may be, in present tense, as if you had already have it, and give gratitude to God for it. You can give gratitude for things that are not physically here yet, because if it's not here in physical form, then it is there in spiritual. If God gave you the ability to conceive it in your imagination, then its physical equivalent or expression must be there. I'll give everyone a couple of minutes. I'm going to play some music so you could write out your intention and goal for the day. Well, I hope you had enough sufficient time to write your intention and goal as if, you see, you get emotionally involved long enough with that idea, you're going to start acting upon it. Now, in order to get a better understanding what it means to make it part of your state of being, I want us to go through a meditation together. If you have your headphones, please put them on because it will just enhance the experience for you. So I'll give everyone a few more seconds in order that you can plug in your headsets. Right, we're gonna start with our meditation. everybody to sit straight. Keep your back straight. And I want you to close your eyes. I want you to take a very deep breath in. I want you to imagine with every breath you take that there is a divine energy that is filling your body with light. Keep breathing at a normal pace for now. Take a deep breath in. Hold. Release. Take another deep breath in. Hold. And release. Take another deep breath in. Hold. Release. I want to count from 10 to 1. And you're going to take your conscious awareness from your conscious mind, dropping down to your heart. And with every level we keep going lower, you're going to detach yourself from your physical environment. And you're going to totally relax. So going down to 9, going down to 8. You're detaching yourself at this very moment. 7. There is no more noise outside of you. 6. I don't want you to hear nothing but my voice. 5. Your hands and feet are feeling totally relaxed. 4. 3. You're dropping down to your heart right now. 2. 1. Now I want you to imagine there is a golden door. And this door has no knob, because this door is within your heart. It's your own kingdom to your heaven. And it opens up with love. As you send it love, it opens up. The same way that you open your heart to the divine. And as soon as you enter this realm, you're going to see that there is a mirror. And this mirror is a mirror of reflection. This mirror has the ability to shine the divine light through any images that you wish to reflect in your physical reality. But we have to clean it first. So we're going to send it so much love that we're going to clean up envy. We're going to clean up the hatred. We're going to clean up the jealousy. We're going to clean up the resentment. We're going to clean up the greed. To allow this mirror to shine once more and allow the divine light to emanate through it clearly. Now that you have cleaned it, I want you to picture the goal that you had written, that you can see the parallel self of your very own being within this mirror. And you can see that you are living from your goal through this mirror. I want you to open up your heart and send an abundance of love towards this mirror. I want you to brighten up your energetic body, your astral body. Take a deep breath and increase the light energy within you to the point that you are as bright as the brightest star. I want you to step out of your body. And I want you to look back at your current self and say, thank you, for you have brought me this far. And I want you to look at the mirror. And the reflection that you see from the mirror, this mirror, the nature of it is fluid. Now I want you to step into the mirror with your astral body and fuse yourself with your parallel self. That is also you. There is your new version of which you wish to become. Embrace it. Embody it. Expand your awareness around it. See what it's like to see, smell, hear, touch, and experience the goal. This is who you truly are. It's never far. I want you to exit from your new self going back to the elevator. And we're gonna rise up as the person that we have become in the process. I'm gonna count from 1 to 10. And as we're going up, you will begin to regain your conscious awareness. 1, 2, you're starting to settle in your new self. 3, this is such a beautiful feeling. And it feels so real because it is the truth. 4, I thank God every day that now we have accepted the best version of ourselves. 5, 6, this has been such a spiritual journey that I feel this has been my true self that I've always wanted to experience. 7, 8, I can feel that my physical reality is already here, matching my spiritual essence of who I have become. 8, 9, and I can finally sense a shift in my identity of who I am. And as I say 10, I want you to gradually bring your conscious awareness back, embodying the version that you have become. And gradually Open up your eyes with sincere gratitude for God that He has given you the ability to embrace this new reality. Thank you, everyone. It's truly a spiritual and emotional journey. It's true when James Allen stated, he said, as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. As a woman thinketh in her heart, so is she. I want you to repeat to yourself, as I think in my heart, so am I. Jim Rohn stated, he said, life is about experiences. And the intensity of those experiences, the exercise we did today, is how we can intensify the experience in the heart so that we can produce an outcome as an experience. You see, if you live in the spirit of things, you will get to live them into an experience. Each one with his or her own efforts, but you must earn it. And in order to earn it, you must do the work. You must be it. Be plus do equals have. Change your state of being by changing your state of mind, and you cannot help but to attract all the necessary things and conditions to fulfill the thing that you seek. I want to thank you, everyone, for attending today's session. Truly grateful to be here. Thank you, Brother Jerome. Sister Giovanna, thank you for coming as well. If anybody has any questions or you have any takeaway that you'd like to share about what you learned here, please feel free to do so. You may raise your hand. Let me just remove myself from the spotlight.
Yes. Thank you so much from the bottom of my heart, Brother Ahmed. That is awesome. I mean, it's blew my mind because the message resonates with me, truly. And I want to really thank you because when I reached out to you to host this call, you you reached decision promptly. I mean, within a second, right? And you accepted to share with us uh, this beautiful knowledge. We truly value it, and we want to thank you so much.
Grateful.
Those of you, I'm not talking to the attendees. For those of you who don't know, Brother Ahmed is, let's say, a certified global coach ambassador at Napoleon Hill Institute. So he's a giant, and he's a creative genius. And I know no one better than Brother Ahmed to walk us through such a magnificent concept, because we can't we can't afford, right, to get sick, really, because feeling good is our greatest asset, right? What even filled me, but I want to thank you so much because I'm the one who benefited a lot from this knowledge. Thank you so much, Brother Ahmed.
You're most welcome, brother. And you know, the biggest and truly humbled and always grateful to serve. The biggest investment anybody can make is in themselves, right? If you understand your nature, your entire being, and you invest in yourself, it is way cheaper than to have the bills of regret and ill health and everything else that encompasses from the list of penalties that one must pay. The good part is all of your higher faculties are for free. I see.
Yes, I'm not exaggerating by saying that even hearing your voice can hear me. Believe me, I get healed, and I'm so happy. I'm brimming with energy now. Thank you. Yes, take it away.
You're most welcome. Nuru Dine, can you unmute yourself, please?
Okay. Good evening, everybody.
Good evening.
Thanks to Mr. Ahmed Bahman for this interesting topic. We really appreciate it. Then we're gonna suggest to be together with us. Why not? To come with another topic in order to help us, to know more.
Absolutely.
I'm really, happy about it. Thank you so much.
You're most
for
welcome.
This brilliant and presentation.
I'm truly humbled and grateful, brother. Thank you so much. And for all of you that are here, Sister Giovanna and I have a Facebook group. It's called Sparking Change for Success. So if you go on Facebook, if you type in Sparking Change for Success, please do request to join our group. We will be sharing a lot of materials coming soon in the near future. Sister Giovanna, please, if you can unmute yourself.
Hello, everyone, and hello, Jerome, for bringing this together. Ahmed, you mean the world to me, and I just had to raise my hand to say I am so grateful that you came into my life, and I know the impact and the difference that you made to me. And I just want to tell everyone here to know that what we're sharing, and I'm sure you will agree, that when you find something that changes your life and it impacted you totally, you must share it with everybody else. The reason why you receive the gift of listening to Ahmed today is because he received it from someone else. And as human beings, God created us all equal. We're all equal. At the inside of the core of who we are, we're one. And so bringing this information to you, it's coming from the heart, from the biggest heart. And I just want you to know that you are in good hands with Ahmed, that he is a blessing to this world, a blessing to this world. And that's why I partnered with him, and we're doing a show. We do a show together. It's because the information that we've learned, we needed it first for ourselves because our lives weren't peaceful. And once we connected to who we truly are, that is where you have freedom. That is where you can reach your goals and get what you want. We don't have freedom unless we understand how the mind works. And the mind and the heart are connected. So what you feel, you begin to think, and then you begin to act. So it's so important to understand this information. This is what is needed for us to change our lives. And we're out there doing the same, giving the gift that God has given us, we're passing it on. So I just want to say, Ahmed, this was a beautiful presentation. As always, you touch the hearts of many, and you did wonderful today. And everyone, I encourage you, like Ahmed said, to just listen, be open to receive, because this is where, we're talking to your heart, we're talking to your soul. We're not talking to the physical you, we're talking to who you really are. And we want to wake up your heart, we want to wake up your soul, because you have gifts to share with this world. And we're here to show you those gifts. But this is all comes from you first, right? We're here to guide you, but you have to make the ultimate decision. In life, we have choices to make. And your happiness is our happiness, and our happiness is your happiness. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Sister Giovanna. So humbled and grateful, and sincerely grateful that we've crossed paths with each other, and that we partner up. So grateful to you. I see Agognon, if you can unmute yourself, please.
Please, Edward, take it away.
Agognon?
All right. Good evening, everyone, and I will say hi for those who are present, and I will say thank you for you, Sir Ahmed, for your presentation. Also, thank you, Coach Jerome. I'm so happy to be part of you tonight because I get more things from you, from your teaching. Thank you very much.
You're most
And
welcome.
I would like to say that if we take if we take account of your lesson, I think that even if when we take the example of those who are,
Like,
the greatest men and women in this world, they
c-
know
c-
what.
could you speak a little bit closer to the mic? Because I can't really clearly hear what you're saying.
Okay, sorry. I said that it is a great lesson I have to hear tonight, and when I read the history of the greatest men and women, I think that they know what they have to do,
Yes.
even if it's about the mental dimension or physical dimension or spiritual dimension. And I think whatever is the religion, they try to make this in the habit in order to grow up. Sorry for my English, but I think that it seems like we are not obliged to make it in practice, but if we want to grow up, we have to do it. So
Yes.
thank you very much. Thank
You're most
you, and
welcome.
see you next time.
You're most welcome, brother. I'm very grateful that I had been given an opportunity to serve. You know, thank you, brother Jerome. You brought a lot of beautiful people here, and I cannot thank you enough. How happy do you feel when you do God's work on earth? That's the question I ask myself all the time, right? So why not just make more of it? Thank you, brother Agognan. And brother Baudelaire, did I pronounce that correctly? If you can unmute yourself, please.
Of course, God bless you. Okay, thank you so much. It's the first time I met you, and I can, as Jerome said, I'm also healed. I feel healed just listening to your voice, listening to your nice presentation, and all the lesson you give us today. I'm very grateful for that particular moment. So I just have one question.
Yes.
I was wondering if you could help me to understand which one of the three you talk about three dimension of health: the physical one, the spiritual one, and the mental one.
Yes.
I wanna know if one of the three is more important than the others, or if I need to.
No.
Okay, all are equals.
All are equal. You need to have a balance.
Okay, so yeah, this is related to my own life. In some moment in my life, I feel like even though I am in good relationship with my God, I feel like my mental dimension is I won't say is in trouble, but I don't feel myself so healthy in that dimension. I want to know if you have some advice you can give me if
Okay.
there's something I can do.
Here's what I want you to do.
Okay.
I want you to, and this is a good exercise for everybody. Now, there are facts and there are truths. How many times we see people or doctors labeling something as a fact and later on they changed to another fact, right? They took the new fact as a truth. So facts can change. That's one. Now, on one sheet of paper, write on top current facts. However it is you view yourself and the way you view life. I hate this, I feel I'm not competent, or whatever it is, this is your facts. That's not your truth. Okay? there is a half truth, there is truth, and then there is the ultimate truth. Okay, so these are just facts. You write them. How many they are? Just mention them. If they're negative, of course. Then in another sheet of paper, write on top as the truth, and then write its opposite as if you already are. For example, my mental health is not in alignment, right? That's a fact, whatever it is. In the truth section, you write, my mental health is optimum and I'm full in alignment and in harmony, right? So anything you repeat to yourself over a period of time, you become it. But you need to be inducing your emotions as you're writing it every day. See, writing causes thinking, and thinking causes you to flash images on the screen of your mind, which from there on, you will produce a certain feeling. That feeling will change the vibratory rate of your body, and it then encompasses your entire state of being. That's the result that you want. But in order to get that emotion about how you feel about yourself, you need to make a mental adjustment by giving your attention the proper direction. So that's all there is to it, you know? But do that continuously every day until it becomes part of your mindset. If you have to remind yourself not to fall into default, that means it has not become part of your mindset at that time yet. And if you don't apply emotions, just like the meditation exercise we did, try to memorize the truth section and then get into the feeling of the desire fulfilled. Ask yourself this question. Now that my desire has been fulfilled, how do I feel? The more you attune yourself with that feeling, the more you create that harmonic resonance in order to give you that behavioral outcome. At the same time, I'll tell you, as you change internally, so does your environment. You are a living projector. Your environment is a reflector of who you become as a person. If you change, it will act like a mirror effect. These are not my words. These are far down the history of the ancient sages have been mentioning all these teachings. Every scripture talks about it in a different way. All the prophets shared the same teachings. It's not my words. I'm just sharing what I have learned through my experience. And I have seen my life shift. And in the beginning, it may sound like a boggling thing, but you will build the belief. You will come to realize, as Earl Nightingale said, he said, success is the realization of a worthy ideal. What are your worthy ideals? The more you practice it, you will come to realize them as truth.
Thank you so much.
You're most welcome. Anybody else? You'd like anything to share? Once again, okay, we have Brother Essay. If you can unmute yourself, please.
Okay, let's. I mean, you can see me. Okay.
Yes. How are you, brother?
Everyone.
You have a beautiful smile.
With Ahmed, I'm so. I first of all, I want to thank you for this presentation.
I'm so humbled and grateful. Well, thank you.
I am so grateful. I'm so for the evening, and also I want to thank my brother Jerome for have the ability to organize this Saturday debate.
He's spectacular. Yes, I could hear you. Brother Jerome did a spectacular job.
Can you hear me well?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Hello. Okay. So you, I can say that this evening presentation is like a live school. the school. I don't know how to say. It's like a school we come to into,
Yes.
and really you feed us, you feed me especially. So most of the time we don't know I know who we are really, and it prevents us to go forth in life. But tonight I can hear many things. I learn many things from you, from spiritually level to. I can tell you really I'm so blessed, and I can notice already change that come in my life. So really thank you very much.
Always
May
grateful
God
to serve.
bless you all. I don't know if you get me really.
Can you repeat the last part? I couldn't hear. I think it's frozen, maybe. No?
I think his connection is not so good.
Yeah, it's about the connection. I think
Yes. You can put it in the chat, please. Right?
Can you hear?
Yeah, if you switch off the video, I think it would be a better connection.
Okay.
Yeah.
I switch off the video. Is
Yeah.
okay now?
Yeah, now it's more clear, yes.
Okay, there's no problem. So thank you. I just want to congratulate you. Thank you very much.
Thank you. And always grateful to serve. And Brother Jerome, thank you a billion times for giving us the opportunity to deliver such a wonderful teaching where everybody can reap its benefit and rewards. Thank you so much. And Sister Giovanna as well, thank you for the wonderful share, and you're one amazing host. I haven't seen anyone like you. And I see
Maybe she can be our next speaker. Why not?
yes. Agognon, hand is raised again. Please go ahead.
I am Jerome's brother. Sorry for my question, but I would like to know if we can review you once again, or if you can make a feedback about this topic or another topic the next time.
Could you repeat that again? Your voice is far, brother.
Okay, sorry. I said that I would like to ask you if it's possible to make a feedback, or if we can review or see you the next time for another Saturday debate.
We can sure arrange and organize another session. Absolutely.
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much.
You're most welcome.
So,
truly grateful.
there is a question in the chat
Yeah,
from Miss Florentine Mary. She asked, she said, let me read it to you. I have a question. When we find ourselves in an environment where we continually have to fight to keep up, how do we stay in a conscious state of mind at all times?
This is where you have to use your faculty of the will. And remember when we discussed about the will, it's one of your higher faculties, is to hold on to a single idea in exclusion of everything else. Just like this form of meditation that we did, it's to cancel out everything and just stay in alignment with the will. Because, any idea, as Andrew Carnegie stated, any idea that is held in the mind, and you get emotionally involved with that, right? Any idea that's held in the mind, that's emphasized, that's either feared or revered, it doesn't matter. But you need to be like a guard on your thoughts. You need to make sure that things that don't serve you, push them out. Push them out. Any idea that's held in the mind that's either feared or revered will begin at once to clothe themselves in the most convenient physical form that's available. You need to have patience, but you need to nurture the thoughts and emotions of the thing that you want to be manifest. Manifestation is a combination of intention and alignment. You have the intention with a deep burning desire, but you need to align yourself mentally and emotionally so that you can remain on that frequency. And therefore, that's how you create a harmonic resonance or a vibrational match, but have the element of patience for the gestation period to be over, as decreed by the law of gender. I hope that answers the question.
Yes, thank you so much.
You're most welcome. Well, thank you once again, everyone, and Brother Jerome, truly appreciate you, and let's connect again. I feel that
Yes.
this was a very
It's just a starting point, right?
absolutely. Well, there's many topics, and I don't expect everybody to understand from a short session in an hour and a half. Remember, like for me, it took me to really grasp what I was saying. It took me more than 10 years. I'm not asking that it will take you 10 years, but that was my level of awareness. But I can at least deliver to you the awareness that I have, that everybody can understand it sooner.
Yes, and that's where mentorship comes in, right? We need a mentor, and you are my mentor, believe me. And I'm not just saying that to impress you, really, but it is true. You're doing a lot for me. Thank you, brother, man.
I'm very humbled by your kind words. I truly appreciate you, Brother Jerome. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. God bless you all.
Thank you.
And always remember, if you always do everything for the love of God, you will never go astray. You will have everything you need. Trust me on this one.
Yes.
It's the last message I can give anybody.
Yes. Thank you so much. Now
Thank you,
it's time
brother.
to close.
Thank you. Take care,
Thank you,
everyone.
everyone.
See you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye for now. Yes.